What's up, guys? Rolando here, and
you got your boy Eddie from Savij.
what's up, guys? We're here doing a deck profile here at Omega Gaming with our good old friend Alex Fenimore. Make sure you sit around and check it out.
Guys, before we continue with this video, make sure you guys go check out your Playmat. They have the most amazing, beautiful sleeves. They feel amazing. They're super cool, and they can actually customize sleeves however you guys want. If you guys want to put your team logo, if you guys want to put your own original design on them, whatever you guys want to put, you guys can definitely get that done. And if you guys want to get 10% off, you guys can use Elite 10 YP to get 10% off of any purchase around the whole store. I think that these sleeves are amazing. They're beautiful, and if you guys definitely want to get your some, make sure you guys do. Link will be down in the description. Guys, you already know. Let's go.
You guys are very beautiful. All right, guys. Rolando here with Team Elite Savij with Ed, and we got Mr. Alex Fenimore here. How you doing, Alex?
Doing good.
What are you playing lately?
I've been playing Tennis SwordSoul.
And how you liking the deck?
I think it's the best deck in the format, but I think it also loses to like 2 hand traps. Any 2 hand traps, you break board.
Yeah, I've noticed it myself too, like in testing, but I feel like it's a very fair deck, right? It doesn't feel like, outside of maybe one card we're going to talk about later.
So like, without like the exception of one card, as far as like meta decks go, it is the most balanced as far as like, it doesn't put out some board that you have no interaction. Like, sometimes like when you feel like you play against like Invoke, Shaddolls, when they summon the window and you just sit there and you're like, well, what do I do? Or you play like Dryton when they just summon like a bunch of fucking monsters and you're just like, what do you do there?
No.
But as far as like meta goes, this is like both players at least, like unless you summon the one card, both players can like at least interact with one another.
Exactly. All right, well, let's go and get started on it.
So we'll start off with the tennies first. You play the 3 Ashura. Ashura basically tutors for any of them, so this is the one you maximize on. The next one you play is 2 Vishuddha. Vishuddha lets you like basically bounce stuff, and it deals with like problem cards. Like, so if they have like a Phoenix Enforcer, you can just special summon this, link off, target the Phoenix Enforcer, bounce the hand or stuff like that. Adara is like the next one. You want to play it 2 of, just because like seeing it at 3 is kind of like weird. It doesn't really like do a whole lot by itself, but it is the tuner, and it does add back like some of your banish farms back. So you want to play it at 2 just for those ratios.
Gotcha.
And then you play 1 of the Blue Boy. Blue
That's
Boy is
spice.
really good. So like, if you go like blackout, you pop your tinny guy, you pop 2 of their cards. Blue will banish, summon back the tinny, and then you'll pop another like monster on board. So you can get like 3 pops with just this. So like, and also because we're playing a spell, it helps you like dodge imperm. It helps you dodge like the effect failure. So it helps like with some like the problematic hand traps, because you just like imperm is such a strong card. That's 100%. It for the tinnies.
So 9 tennies.
Yeah. Next we're playing SwordSoul package, 3 Moe, self-explanatory, 3 Longwan, and then 2 Tae. I thought about playing this at 3, but the problem is like, it's the one that doesn't give you like the most advantage. This is the one that helps fix hands. These are the ones that gain you advantage. These are the ones that help fix hands, because you can send like the Adhara to grave, or like you can send like certain cards, like, so like, let's say for example, like you have summon in hand, you can go this first. You can like, so after you synchro, you can dump this, you can add the spell, and then you can spell this back, reveal like a long one, or any of the other SwordSoul cards can get your draw. So it helps like fix the hands, but it's not like the one that generates the most advantage. So that's it for the SwordSoul package. I guess you can include this in the SwordSoul package, but it's not a SwordSoul monster. Just 2 Ecclesias. 3 is kind of bricky, because like if you see this plus too many of like this or Moe, you have too many normal summons. So like this is mostly good for going second. Going first is kind of hit or miss.
It's also not a worm, so it's really hard to like mesh with everything else.
So like that's why it like conflicts at 3, just because like I don't like seeing like cards that are not worms that do not like give you advantage. So that's why I'm not playing it at 3. The card that's gonna get banned on the ban list, Protoss, we made it. This card's an auto win. In the mirror, you call water. Dryton, you call light. PK, you call dark.
And Emancipators?
Earth.
I hate you.
Enough said about this card. And then the one of Nib, just because like I play Cross Out, and this is like the blowout card. Usually you get to your 5th summon before Baron, and then they imperm, like, so if they have like imperm plus this, like if you do like full combo where you end on like your optimal board and you like summon your Protoss, and then they just go like Nib, you'll go Baron, they go like Imperm. You just, because this deck doesn't really have like recovery. It only has like, it's consistent, but like the recovery of it is like limited like 2 cards. So it's not like insanely strong.
Like top decking the Taies, like the
Taie
only
or
way.
Emergence.
Or Emergence, yeah.
Like those are like your only, like I mean like maybe Ecclesia, because like Ecclesia can get into the Taie, but like once again you're still like 1 card. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, you play 3 Emergence. This is the Searcher. This card's really nutty. And then you play 3 of the Heavenly Dragon Circle. So like this card helps you, like I said, like dodge like the Imperms, helps you like dodge the effect failures, because if they go like, so if you go Moe, activate effect, and they go like Imperm or Failure, you chain this, you'll tribute the Moe, resolve effect, you'll get this, because you have a token, you special summon this, it's level 4, Synchro Freight. So like,
Jeez.
yeah, so it helps with that. 2 Dark Ruler. Big boards are a problem. Everyone's just putting out like really nutty boards where it's just like 6-7 interruptions, and it's just no one's really playing like the spell and trap negations. It's mostly just like monsters. So you just dark ruler the game. It's also there for the crossouts, because there's nothing worse than setting up your board and everyone is also maining, like a lot of people are maining the dark ruler, so you just cross out the dark ruler. I did that in round, what was it, round 2? I did that. Opponent went dark ruler, and went cross out.
Insert replay from Omega Gaming Twitch.
Knockout or Imperm or Chalice. Go for the Dark Ruler, but unfortunately the product is still a lingering effect.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Instant
right now.
replay, yeah.
Sorry.
2 Desires. I don't want 3, because the problem with this is like there's nothing worse than going Desires and drawing into like another Desires. Not only just that, but like I feel like I'm tempted at cutting this card, so that way I can just like utilize like better ratios. Like the trap, I can just like, I don't know, like Desires is so good, but sometimes it's just like the worst, because like you'll banish like the 1 of Protoss, or like you'll banish like 3 of like your long ones, or like the banish in sometimes bites you in the butt, but overall the +2 sometimes is necessary.
You ever thought about playing like Prosperity in its place?
No, the extra deck's too tight. You can't cut like, maybe you can cut 3, but the problem is like if you cut 3, the 1 of is usually not enough. Like it's problematic. The 1 of Summit, self-explanatory.
A lot of people are cutting Summit right now. What do you think about that?
Too strong. This is like your other recovery card. Like, so if you have like, you know, like if you're in open game state and you top deck this and you summon your YuGiOh back or your Emperor back off this, like you instantaneously like have so much more like presence on board. Gold Sark. So same thing. Like if
Too good.
Yeah, too good. Like if they like, sometimes like I'll Gold Sark a monster so I can add Hara, like long one, add Hara, bring it back so I can have access to it. But the main use of this is so like if they imperm your Moe or they imperm like your Taie or something, you can Gold Sark, banish the trap will trigger, and then you'll summon the token, and then you'll just be like free Ixies. So like it helps with that. And then the one I've called by. Everyone should play it. Enough said about called by.
Now, before we leave the spells, I mean, I know a lot of people have been thinking about playing the instant fusion with that fusion for tuner. What do you think about that package right there?
So I think it depends on the build you use. Like, so like for me, it just turns into like, what do you cut? Because like, I look at it from the perspective of like, I can play instant fusion and like, yeah, it could be the tuner, or I can play this, which gets me like, this searches Protoss. So no offense to instant fusion, but I have 6 ways to search my win con and I main it. So I have 7 cards essentially that get me Protoss. So I don't really like maybe it can like play through some boards a little bit easier, but having your win con is, especially in this format, like having your win con wins, like what do people do against Protoss? It's a better Calamities, because like Calamities like at worst is like 2 turns, and then like you can at least try to do stuff because you can have like maybe different attributes, but like in this format, because like everyone's playing like the 1 attributes, Bird Up is Wind. If you, like I said, you call Aqua against this deck, they just lose for free. You call Lights against Triton, they lose there. So like there's a lot of like matchups where you call a certain matchup. If you're playing like I played against a Dogmatica Invoke player, I called Lights. What does he do? Like their best end board is like maybe make the Purgatrio and then try to make board, but like at that point like you have too much advantage, so they can't really push through it. That's why I'm not playing the instant fusion. Plus, the extra, like I said, the extra deck is way too tight. Like the extra deck is super tuned at this point. I guess for the traps, we'll start with these. Emperor, best hand trap of the format.
Of course.
This is why we play the cross out, because like you need something to stop this card, and called by isn't enough. 2 blackouts, 1 to search, 1 for the gold sark. Also 2 just because 2 is good, so if you banish 1 off of desires, you at least have another one.
I always feel like if this card resolves, it's good games.
Yeah, you should win if you resolve this. And then last but not least, the real blowout of like the deck, Imperial Order. Like I said, more blowouts. So like this plus Protoss, like
He plays 2 cards in this deck that are gonna get banned.
yeah,
100%.
100%.
100%. Like, you know what's crazy is like I already know like SwordSoul's not even gonna like maybe we'll get it like in top 16 at the YCS remote duel or in California, but it's like Protoss.
Protoss is dead.
Protoss should die.
Like
Should definitely die.
like I feel like Protoss, Window, like cards in general that like turn off the like game is like nobody wants to play against those, which is why like Scythe should also be banned, because
I
like
definitely think Scythe's
everyone's
gonna be
playing the
banned.
Dagda because of Phoenix Enforcer. So it's just like we need something in the game. Like
But like knowing them,
It's
like
just
knowing Konami,
frustrating.
it might just be like ban Detka or something like that instead of banning the Scythe.
I mean, because the problem is like actually like if they ban the Dagda, then it's like okay, like we're just prolonging the Scythe ban because Sanctum's at 3, and
Yeah.
then people are just gonna like side like the 3 Sanctums. But overall, like something needs to be done about that. Just because, like I said, like having generic, everyone has access to it. It's a problem. And then the problem with Protoss in this deck is a worm. Like if Protoss wasn't a worm, it wouldn't be a problem. But the fact that it is a worm and you can search it, like I said, with like 6 cards, that's a problem.
Now, how many cards was in the main deck before we go to that?
41.
41. Okay.
41. Like I said, I tried cutting it to 40, but statistically, difference between 40 and 41 is so astronomically small. Like, who cares?
Okay.
For the extra deck, 2 monks. You need 2. If you only have 1 and they stop your first one and they get rid of it, it makes like follow up like having a generic non-effect monster on board like stupid hard. The only other link we play is Shaman. This comes up every once in a while.
I like that one a lot.
It helps like deal with like problem, because like sometimes like you'll be in open game state, and if you can get to 2 worms and you can pitch like a card from your hand, and this also revives Emperor and YuGiOh. So like you don't care about like they don't get their effects this turn. It's the simple state like open game state. Like this really comes in handy every once in a while. That's it for the links. We'll do the non Sword Soul cards first. You play the Boxia for the Shao Fang combo. You play this because this pushes for game like really strong. There is one player. I read the nib in his hand, and he even had the nib, and he was complaining. I was like, why didn't you summon the 5th time? Because this just OTK, so I don't have to summon more. Dragite, this comes in handy a lot. You need to be able to stop like spells and traps. Just like sometimes like you can read like where they have the punishment, so like or like something that like an imperm, so they're saving the imperm, or they have like I don't know, like problematic cards. Like sometimes against like Eldritch, you need this.
Who always forgets to spell and trap negate.
And it also doesn't stop their activation. It's also their effects. So if it's like a face-up card and it activates their effect, you can stop it with Dragite.
Nice. Also, fun little tech a lot of people have been doing with this. With nib, if they're maining more than 1 or setting in more than 1, they go this.
Yeah.
If you see a nib, it's a non-targeting
Bounce the hand, yeah.
Bounce the hand.
So it's like, why wouldn't you? Just like, kind of like giggles, like hee hee.
Rocks in the deck?
Yeah.
Well, nib with Nibiru.
Nib.
If you main the 3 nib, you can do that turn game 1.
And it's kind of consistent, comes up every once in a while.
Oh yeah. You don't add it to hand, you just need to see it.
Yeah, of course. You just reveal it.
Omega, this because it can put back like generic banish cards, so sometimes you need your banish cards back. And also like if your opponent's in like a top deck situation and you have like a YuGiOh already and you can make another 8, sometimes instead of making this or like this, you can just make this, rip a card out of their hand, so they're playing with 1 card and you have the YuGiOh for it.
Nice, nice.
That's it for the non-Sword Soul 8s. 2 YuGiOh, standard. Everyone should play 2.
Best one in the game right now?
Not the best 8, but yeah. Best,
Oh no, I'm talking about the number 10 we're about to see.
Not yet. We got to the 9s. We played 2 9s.
Oh, 2 9s. No kidding.
Xiaofeng, and then the virtual world, Shin Shin. Sometimes like when you're playing like certain decks like Bird Up or like decks that have to like rely on their graveyard like PK, you make this. GG's. Xiaofeng, same thing. Stops lights, so like Drytons can't really play the game. For the 10s, the best 10 in my opinion is Emperor. I don't think Baron is that strong.
During testing, I always go for this one. What do you think?
So in the meta, this is stronger. This is way stronger in the meta. If you're playing Rogue, Baron is stronger. But like I said, in the meta, Emperor's like 100 times stronger because like PK has to banish to get their effects. So you just banish from field, banish from off thing. If you're playing Dryton, the one effect negation really doesn't mean anything because like you can just Zhizhao like banish like Zhizhao banish negate something. This will trigger. You can banish like the Gamma, banish like another like or even like the Ben 10 from graveyard plus like a resource they need on field like a Gamma, the Alpha or Delta, whatever it is. So like this really comes in handy quite often. The Ruby Rose, PK, salads, Drytons, stuff that rely on the graveyard like in an open game state where you're both top decking. You just go this, banish all the cards in the graveyard. Eldritch is like another one.
All the traps, everything.
Sky Strikers,
Oof,
also like
GG's.
So we do that quite often. And then the last one for the extra deck is, of course, the Baron.
Of course.
Recyclable
too. That's why you never should play more than one.
Yeah, you should never play more than one. It's honestly, it's not as good. Like the price tag is just because of the box. Nobody wants to buy the boxes because it's a terrible set. But as far as like a card goes, it is pretty strong. But it's not like $100+ good card.
Well, I mean, I like the pop effect, right? And the pop effect is only once per turn, but it's also like you can use that more than once.
Yeah. You can do it on your turn multiple times. Well, multiple turns on your turn. But still, like if this is on board for more than 2 turns, something's wrong. You should have won by then.
Yeah.
So that's it for the extra deck.
Sweet. Let's take the side deck. Little spice.
Deck. So I don't build for locals because I do a lot of remote duel. So I kind of build, at least in my eyes, what I play for the meta. The best hand trap, I don't play like Ash. I don't play Valor. I just think they're bad. They're not enough. Like I'd rather just play, like I said, like I think I even said it in like the virtual deck profile did. I'd rather play a hand trap that just turns off like a format to where it's not just like only get the one stop and the one stop only. I'd rather just like be like, no, you're not gonna get more cards. Lancia, same thing. It's really good. Turns off like banishing, so it helps against like PK. In the mirror, like I said, Protoss is just the win con, so you need something to stop the Protoss, or you just lose. There's no coming back from it.
Also against like Flunderies. They can't summon anything.
Yeah, these are also like Flunderies cards because you do that against Flunderies, they lose. Like they don't play the game. For the traps, the most important going first trap, Solemn Judgment. Stop anything. You got to be able to stop anything in this game. Everyone's playing the blowouts. Everyone's playing like evenlies, dark rulers, droplets. Everyone is playing cards that just blow out your opponent. It's not like I want to play one card here, one card there. No. People go, bam, slap that on the board, kind of thing. So that's it for that.
Nice.
The best going second trap in the game, evenly.
Woo. Big win. A lot of decks like PK, their inboard is a bunch of effect negations. Same thing with like Bird Call, like or Bird Up. Funderies, they don't really have negations. Their only hope is like Solemn Judgment if they have it. Dryton, if they have the Herald, they have the Herald. But a lot of times they're not playing the Herald. They're playing like Phoenix Enforcer, Appaloosa, IP, stuff like that. And if they do have the Herald, you just Imperm, or you can Kaiju if you play the Kaiju in the side and then go evenly. I don't play Kaijus, but I have a friend that does, and he plays the game. So or he plays this deck as well. But evenly is the best going second card, at least in my opinion, outside Dark Ruler. Oh, you can also go Dark Ruler, evenly, good games.
Yeah, good game there. The second best going first card, Dimensional Barrier. Sometimes you don't care if like you're in the mirror and like you have, because like if you're in the mirror and you have an established board and they're trying to make synchros and you flip this up and you call synchros, they can't really establish their board, and then like they'll maybe set like a blackout, maybe like another trap, and then you just black out their back row, and now they don't really have like any board, and you can just like continue popping off from there. Against Dryton, you call Xyz, you win. Against Bird Up, call Xyz, win. Against like Invoked, whatever, Shadal, you call Fusions, you win. Phoenix Enforcer, Adamantivators, call Synchro. Like,
why you gotta look at my man like that, bro? Why you gotta do that to him?
it's a good card.
Insert Twitch stream replay right there.
Insert the Twitch, yeah. The last two is what I call back row hate. Outside of the other cards, I don't play Twin Twisters, don't play Cosmic. I just play the 2 blowout cards. Red Reboot, Hypees. Like I said, like you see these cards, you just want to resolve, and you just want to win.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, Alex, thank you so much for doing this profile with us, man.
No problem.
Any shout outs before we finish off?
I want to shout out Team TBD. We do a lot of meta practice. We've done really well as far as like the local scenes go. We've won like the trophies. We've won mats. We actually have a team battle with Savij coming up. Future video. Keep an eye out on the YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
They're probably. Are you guys gonna stream it on Twitch?
We're probably gonna be able
We're gonna try to, yeah.
Let's do that.
Are you gonna be doing the remote duel this weekend?
I'm doing Sunday. I'm gonna do the Winamats and I'm gonna do the Giant card and maybe the Cyber Structure deck if people have the Structure deck, because no one has a complete Structure deck because everyone took out the Imperms.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Y'all be safe.
Peace out.
Should we do the combo? Let me see it.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, guys, we're back again here with Mr. Alex Finnemore. He's gonna be showing us a cool little test hand slash, combo tutorial. So let's go and take a look, man. What we got right now?
So with 3 cards, I'm gonna show you the most optimal board with this deck. With 3 cards, no interruptions. If you have like Moe, Tai, any one of those, or Ecclesia, plus any of the Tinny monsters, and then the emergence, or like it doesn't have to be emergence or long one. So you have like a combination of like, it can be this, it could be that. So it doesn't have to be like a true like has to be these 3 cards, but you want something similar to like these 3 cards. So the combo is you normal summon Moe, you reveal the Adhara, you summon a token. 25th anniversary, best starter Pokemon Gen 2. Best starter Pokemon in general. Oh, what was that? Yeah. And then you synchro. You make the YuGiOh. Chainlink 1 is always going to be YuGiOh because you never care what the draw is unless like your hand is like really problematic, but you always want the guaranteed search. It doesn't matter what you draw. So you have 1 engrave right there. You would resolve this if you really need to add like this if you need to, but in this case we had the long one because we already have this. So it kind of, like I said, like it depends on what you have and what you don't have. But like in this situation we'll have this. You'll then activate the long one, you'd pitch this, you'd summon this, you'd get your token, and then you do that. You can do
10.
Yeah, if you're playing the mirror, you go Emperor. If you don't know what it is, like I said, like I guess Baron, just because you want to like guarantee like the Protoss. So like Baron is just there to protect the Protoss. You do the emergence, you add the Protoss, banish 3, you'd summon your Protoss. Declare effect. If you're calling, so like right here, we could substitute this for Emperor, and at this moment we'd have basically like all the attributes for all the metas, whatever we're playing, like we have access to it. If we needed like an Earth, we could have gotten Earth. Like there's like certain, like I said, like there's a lot of ways to get like any attribute you need. But in this case, like you just call Darks, because Darks is like super generic in this format.
Also DPE.
DPE, yeah.
Dragoon.
Anaconda is a Dark.
Also
PK.
shuts down PK, Dragon Link.
Invoked, yeah. So that's like a really good, like I said, like if you need like a generic, oh, look at that top deck. So yeah, this, or it could be something like, it could be a combination of like these 3, because then at this point, like usually you'll have like another worm and like, or another like SwordSoul, or like any kind of like, oh, this is all organized. Like it could be this for all that matters. Well, not that one because you need a water. So you need like that, Tai, like, so there's like so many options like you can choose from. So it really just fundamentally depends on like what your opening hand is. But fundamentally, like I said, like, you know, if you see this in your opening hand, you have full combo and they have no interruptions, you should win. Especially if you're playing at your locals. If you are playing at your locals, you should abuse this card. There never should be a game like I did it to one of my friends. I know what he was playing. I just went, Earth. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yarg.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, as far as like hands go, like that is like a 3-card variation of like best board. And there's like nuttier boards you can make, but with
This is an optimal board.
this is the optimal board.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Alex, thank you so much again.
No problem.
Have a wonderful evening.